Primetime News is your current affairs offering, giving you insights into local, continental, and global happenings. Good evening and many thanks for joining us for the Wednesday edition. I'm Michael Madimba. We commence tonight's bulletin with the Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, which has urged charcoal producers countrywide to comply with said guidelines. The ministry strongly emphasized this after the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Carla Schledwein, tweeted about the cutting down of mopane trees for charcoal production. Primrose Harris's compiled our lead report.
Yes, there have been questions of capacity, if the ministry has capacity to ensure that charcoal producers especially adhere to regulations as well as laws. So we have that capacity in the regions. Of course, we keep on improving on it. And what is important in this regard is that not only should the harvesting for charcoal be done in the presence of MEFT officials, but we encourage that the charcoal producers themselves, they must have ethics, they must have professional standards to which they adhere to ensure that they do not degrade the environment in any way. Apart from that, the ministry has regulations that we have issued, I think back in 2021, or earlier this year, to ensure that the charcoal producers follow those regulations, first and foremost to avoid harvesting of wrong trees. Secondly, also to be mindful of the fact that fires do occur whenever charcoal production is done in a wrong way. So the guidelines are effective and they have been distributed to the stakeholders, including the charcoal producers themselves.
The Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security earlier today launched the National Migration Policy for Namibia in the capital. Amelia Kambuta was at the launch and filed this report.
It is my hope at launching this national policy, which has given us a guideline, the most general guidelines on how to deal with migration or migrant, will lead us to leverage the benefits that is brought about by migration, while at the same time making sure or ensuring that the national security interest of this country has also been taken care of. That policy has made very clear on how to deal to balance between the economic benefits that migration brings about, as well as the national security interests.
On to the Erongo region, where the Namibian Police Force Community Affairs Commander, Inspector Eleni Shapumba, revealed that police in the region seized drugs worth more than 1 million Namibian dollars between January and October 2022. Our Erongo region correspondent, Isabel Bento, filed the story.
Shapumba, at the first ever Swakopmund Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse meeting in Swakopmund on Tuesday, noted that skunk cannabis and mandrax were the drugs most often seized, with skunk cannabis worth 845,839 Namibian dollars and mandrax worth 196,450 Namibian dollars confiscated from suspects respectively. The Swakopmund Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse initiative was launched to seek collective redress for the social ills faced by Swakopmund and its residents. Shapumba noted most arrests made were of youth between 19 and 25 years, adding in most cases drug lords recruit young people who have dropped out of school and are looking to make quick money. The inspector called on the public to assist by reporting drug-related crimes and dealers, which will lead to arrests and eventually a decrease in the availability of drugs.
We now switch to South Africa, where the threat of President Cyril Ramaphosa's immediate exit from office over a heist at his farm is temporarily faded after his party vowed to rally around him at next week's impeachment vote, but his troubles are far from over.
The next days are critical for the head of state, who has been championed as a graft-busting savior after the corruption-drenched tenure of predecessor Jacob Zuma. Ruling African National Congress Party lawmakers vowed to close ranks around him at an impeachment vote in Parliament next week. But Ramaphosa remains embroiled in the worst scandal of his career that could yet bring him down. After a tumultuous week following a report by a Parliament-sanctioned independent panel which found that he may have committed serious violations and misconduct, Ramaphosa appeared to have earned a respite. The Parliament sitting to vote on whether he should face impeachment, initially slated for Tuesday, was at the 11th hour pushed back by a week, prolonging the uncertainty around Ramaphosa's future. That vote will come just 3 days before the ANC meets for its 5-yearly conference to elect a new president. Ramaphosa is the leading candidate of the 2 nominees named so far for the party leadership, but that is no guarantee he will be re-elected or serve out his full state presidential term, which should run until April 2024.
This is what you can expect when we return with a business segment. In case you just joined us, this is Primetime Biz, and leading the segment. Namibia Tourism Board Chairperson Madeleine Cwagosas noted Namibia has the ability to offer a whole range of niche tourism opportunities, such as green tourism, cultural heritage products, spa facilities, as well as agri-tourism, to provide impetus for the sector's growth and broadening its offerings. She shared the sentiments at the opening of the Tourism Symposium in Swakopmund on Tuesday. Again, Isabel Binto filed this report.
Cwagosas noted that for Namibia to remain competitive and leverage on its comparative advantage, it is critical that tourism stakeholders are empowered with pricing, social media, and digital marketing trends. She noted challenges faced by the tourism industry currently present a real opportunity to enrich the approaches in the field of tourism product development by allowing stakeholders to confront experiences from different angles about domestic and international travelers. Cwagosas added that Namibia Tourism Board's aim in hosting the symposium is firstly to aid the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism in supporting its tourism revival plan. The chairperson advised that whilst homegrown initiatives are welcomed, Namibians must be open to learn new initiatives so that they remain at the forefront of being competitive in the global village. Reporting for Primetime News, Prime Rose Harasis.
Now, A Mozambican court sentenced the son of ex-president Armando Guebuza to 12 years in jail as part of a vast corruption scandal in which the government unleashed financial havoc by trying to conceal huge debts. The presiding judge noted the crimes committed have brought consequences whose effects will last for generations. Ndambi Guebuza was found guilty of embezzlement, money laundering, and criminal association in a scandal that arose after state-owned companies in the impoverished country illicitly borrowed $2 billion between 2013 and 2014. That's where we leave it for the top news for this evening. Let's have a look at what the weather has in store for us. But first, a quick look at the business and economics roundup. Welcome to Sport Planet. Our sports journalist Marco Ndlovu is currently on the ground in Lilongwe, Malawi, tracking the action for us at the 2022 Region 5 Games, and reports that Namibian swimmers on Tuesday continued their fine form as they scooped 6 more medals. This was during the second and third sessions of the competition held at the indoor aquatic swimming pool of the Kamuzu Institute for Sports in Lilongwe. Meanwhile, our sports journalist Marco Ndlovu reports that the Baby Warriors crashed out of the Under-17 AFCON Algeria 2023 in the COSAFA qualifier, played at the Bingu International Stadium. Namibia fell to Losika Ratchakudu's goal in the 72nd minute after failing to clear their lines following a prolonged period of pressure. Many thanks, Marco, for keeping us abreast with the action. Stand by for your sports roundup. And on that note, we've come to the end of the Primetime News Midweek edition. Much appreciated for watching. Another edition beckons tomorrow. Do make sure to catch us. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire production crew, it's good night